What if I told you that there are specific foods that you can eat that will allow you to get as lean as possible and build the best physique that you can possibly build? In today's video, I want to show you 5 foods that I specifically eat, I tell all my clients to eat, and I recommend that you eat if you want to build that lean physique. Number 1 and the most important is going to be lean meats. These are things like chicken breast, turkey breast, ground beef, white fish like tilapia, shrimp, cod. All of these options are pretty much just straight protein. And protein's super important for if you want to build muscle, and it's going to keep you full as it's the most satiating macronutrient. Now, if you're going to eat ground turkey or ground beef, make sure you get the leaner cuts of these things like 93% lean or 96% lean, because the fatter that you get the meat, the higher fat contents in there, the higher calories they are. So make sure you're getting the leanest cuts of ground turkey and ground beef if you want to eat those. Number 2 are vegetables. Now, there's a bunch of controversy and misinformation online about vegetables and how you don't really need them to get in the best shape of your life, but I think everybody knows that vegetables are good for you and that you should eat them. They're full of micronutrients, tons of vitamins that you don't get from other foods, so it's very important that you do eat them. Additionally, if you're trying to get lean and trying to get shredded, vegetables are an absolute cheat code. They're a super high volume food and a super low calorie food. You can eat a significant amount of them with a low calorie amount, but it will keep you full for a long period of time. You could have an entire plate worth of green vegetables like green beans, asparagus, or broccoli, and it'll keep you full for a long time, and it will only be about 100 calories. If you pair that with a good source of protein and some healthy fats, you got yourself a very, very good meal if you want to get shredded. Can you get shredded and get lean without eating vegetables? Of course you can, but I would highly recommend that you don't do that, because you're not going to get the micronutrients in a lot of other foods if you don't eat the vegetables, and it's going to make it a lot harder for you to actually stay lean and get lean if you're not eating vegetables, because like I said, it's going to keep, these vegetables are going to keep you full, and that's the biggest thing when you're trying to get lean, right? You don't want to be miserable the entire time and starving and thinking about food and thinking about your next meal all the time. If you eat a bunch of vegetables, it's going to keep you full, it's going to keep you healthy, and keep you feeling good the entire process. Number 3 is going to be fruit, and there are specific fruits that are higher in calories than others, but I would highly recommend going after things like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, things like this. You can eat about 100 grams of these fruits for about 30 calories. So it can really help you out when you're trying to get lean. Everyone knows that fruit's good for you, but the key is when you're trying to get lean is it's going to keep you full because it has fiber in it, but it's also going to help you with your cravings. As you get leaner and leaner, sometimes you're going to have cravings. You're going to be craving certain things, especially things with sugar in it. And when you have these natural sugars from the fruit, it can really help you out with your cravings. So whenever you do have cravings, you can snack on 200 grams worth of strawberries and it'd only be about 60 calories. And then more things that you can eat like this that are going to keep you full and keep you from craving all these different kinds of unhealthy foods is going to help you a lot in the long run when it comes to getting shredded. Number 4 is egg whites, and you can find them at the grocery stores in these little cartons. They're essentially just straight protein. Now, some people drink their egg whites, some people cook their egg whites. I would highly recommend that you cook your egg whites. So the reason why egg whites are so good is because they're very satiating, because they're just straight protein. You can have a bunch of them for super low calorie. The issue with egg whites is if you eat them by themselves, they can be a little disgusting as they are more watery than regular eggs, even if you do cook them on the pan. But I personally do, and what I recommend to people when they cook egg whites is that you would have about a cup worth of egg whites, which comes out to about 20 grams of protein. You mix in a couple eggs in there with it, kind of make a scrambled egg with that, and that way when the yolk mixes with the egg whites, it kind of just turns into scrambled eggs instead of just eating the straight egg whites. It makes it a lot easier for you to eat. Of course, if you season it with salt and pepper and whatever else you want to season it with, it can be a really tasty meal. I have this every single day for breakfast, and it comes out to about 40 grams of protein and only about 200 calories. It's going to keep you full for a very long time, so I highly recommend doing that. Lastly, number 5 is non-fat Greek yogurt. Like some of the other things I mentioned, non-fat Greek yogurt is super low calorie, super high protein, so it's going to keep you full. The other good thing about it is going to help you with cravings a lot. Absolutely perfect meal or a perfect snack that you can have at the end of the night is a bowl full of non-fat Greek yogurt, mixing some fruit in there, maybe add some honey or maybe some whey protein in there, mix it together. You got yourself a solid meal that's super low calorie, going to help you with cravings, and it's high in protein. Another thing I do is sometimes I will take a non-fat Greek yogurt, which is about 90 to 100 calories, 15 grams of protein, and I'll put that on top of a couple rice cakes that are super low in calories. Use that as a pre-workout snack because rice cakes are super good, fast digesting carbohydrates. You mix that with some non-fat Greek yogurt, you got a really good snack that you can have that's actually going to keep you somewhat full, and it's a perfect pre-workout snack, high protein, high in fast digesting carbs. Now, if you eat these 5 things, I guarantee that it'll make it a lot easier for you to get lean. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter about the foods that you eat. It matters about how many calories that you're eating on a day-to-day basis, because you could be eating all these things every single day, but if you're eating too many calories, you're not going to lose weight and you're not going to get shredded. It always comes down to calories in versus calories out. And if you want to learn how you can calculate how many calories you specifically need, I'm going to leave the link to a video right up here that you can check out after this one. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button. I post 2 videos every single week. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.